A government that is talking tough on the fight against corruption. President William Ruto continued to speak tough on all the people in his government who might want to think that they're going to succeed in corrupt deals. Is that the way to go? And is that really enough from the president? On the same front for corruption, we've seen 4 suspended at Nyayo House after Interior Cabinet Secretary visited that particular premise and sent some of them packing. Is this the way to go in the fight against corruption? Talk to us at Lookuptv across all your social media platforms. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage on this 31st of August 2023. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Just before we begin our bulletin, let's take a look at the highlights. Tonight on Lookup News, 100 million shillings set aside for printing of KCPE and KCSE exam papers in the country as preparations take shape. Director of Public Prosecutions nominee Ransana Igonga promises to fight corruption at his vetting in Parliament. And shock after missing man's body is found in Kabugoya mortuary. Good evening again. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage. Our sign language interpreter for this evening is Felista Adundo. Let's then begin our bulletin tonight, where President William Ruto has issued a stern warning to corrupt public servants, noting that his government will crack the whip on corruption indiscriminately. Speaking in Kakamega, where he met Kisi leaders, Ruto further cautioned to those who hide in courts with court orders, promising to work closely with the judiciary to weed out those with retrogressive approach to work.
Those in the engineers of corruption in the private sector who bribe government officials at the county, at the national to facilitate corruption, and those who have made it a habit to go and hide in court with court orders, with stay orders, and all the things that go around in court. We are going to make sure that the judicial officers who facilitate corruption in Kenya must also leave. Those who have a problem with that, watuambie what we need to do with the people who are stealing the future of our children, who are sabotaging our development, because resources meant to build roads, to put medicine in our hospitals, end up in private hands. We have huge programs supported, for example, by development partners. But there are officers in government who have made those projects their private enterprises. That even an officer, when he moves from one place to another, he moves with a government project as if it is their own property. Those things, we will stop them. And we will not ask for anybody's permission. And we will not look for anybody's approval. We will just do the right thing. Corruption is a whole industry. And I must tell the people of Kenya, as I tell fellow leaders, we cannot continue to lose public resources because of a few people who misappropriate, who steal, and through corruption deny the people of Kenya the use of their public resources in the right manner. That is not going to continue. Whoever wants to say whatever they want to say, the corruption enterprise in Kenya must come to an end. I know for a fact that corruption and the corrupt and the people who steal have a whole ecosystem and a whole enterprise, from those who are corrupt themselves, the officers that they collaborate with in government, whether it is county or national government. There are officers who are facilitating corruption. There are people in our judicial system who are facilitating corruption by working with the corrupt. That is why certain cases go to certain judges.
Preparations for the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education and the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education are underway, with 100 million shillings set aside to print the papers locally. Speaking at Mitihani House, the National Assembly Education Committee said it is committed to ensure the October set exams are a success. Amina Abdul Rahman with the details.
The National Assembly Education Committee has today conducted a productive fact-finding visit to the headquarters of the Kenya National Examination Council (NEC) in Nairobi, stating that in the previous budget, NEC was allocated a total of 100 million to purchase digital machines that will see the exam papers printed locally.
Those digital machines, and they have bought them, and they have shown us they are through with the business and technical exams. As you rightly put it, this committee made a demand that we are 60 years old since independence. We don't need to go back to London, to France, or to wherever to print exams. That is where we really want to do now as a Committee of Education. We want to have our exams locally.
The committee also discussed the funding of Tower A, which requires 350 million shillings to complete in a span of 1 year.
The whole group now is here. Tower B has been completed up to, they are now on 4th floor, no, not 6th floor and 5th floor. Tower A, they are now requesting for funds amounting to 350 million. And what we are happy with them, because we have put pressure on them as a Committee of Education, is to make sure that they do not incur a lot of pending bills. They have actually assured us that they need 350 million to complete the whole structure, and we have asked them to link up with KTTC or Kenya School of TVET so that they get government expertise, government relationship, so that they can actually finish that building in a record 1 year using very little resources.
A range of important issues concerning NEC were addressed, including the issue of the examination process, challenges faced by individuals seeking to replace their certificates, and not forgetting the issue of those who are sick or have delivered children.
We further discussed about the students who are sick, those who are the young girls who might have delivered. We really discussed and said that we need to come up with a better policy. You can't get exams to a sick person in hospital. You can't get an exam to somebody who has delivered. We are now discussing with them what are the remedies for this, and look on ARICOS to do supplementary exams in future.
Other matters that were brought forward were the delayed payment of examiners.
We have the issue of payment of teachers, and as Deputy Chair has just said, the PMF Act is very clear. You don't procure when you have no money. So we are asking the government. You know very well that we have 2 million scripts to be marked. It will be marked by 500,000 teachers or 100,000 teachers. Make sure we have the money, and make sure this money is ready.
On the state of the current team at NEC, the committee implored that they are delivering the mandate and are open to giving details about expenditures.
NEC appears to be a team that is committed to delivering on its mandate, especially on this building.
Amina Abdurrahman, Lookuptv.
Our very own Amina. Ransom Mula Mele has a promise to eliminate corruption when dealing with high-profile cases if he is successfully confirmed as the next Director of Public Prosecution. Speaking while appearing before the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee for vetting, Mula Mele is adamant he will not allow political interference to frustrate dispensation of justice, and has asked the National Assembly to fund the office adequately to enable it to perform its mandate.
Ransom Mula Mele appeared before the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee for vetting, ready to defend his nomination as the new Director of Public Prosecution in an office left vacant by his predecessor Nurdin Haji. Mula Mele fielding a lot of questions on his suitability to run one of the most critical sectors in administration of justice in the country. Nurdin Haji's withdrawal of high-profile cases from court in unclear circumstances, forming the initial line of questioning. Committee members seeking Mulele's take on the matter.
Withdrawals is something that the DPP has power to do, and we do it with proper reasons to the court, and it is in concurrence with the court. Suffice to say, we have cases where the DPP has gone to court and the courts have declined. The DPP cannot withdraw a case without concurrence with the court. The moment it's withdrawn, that means there were valid reasons to why that case was withdrawn.
The committee, however, appeared not satisfied with the answer and sought from Mulele whether the ODPP office is under the mercy of powerful and influential individuals who will go to any length to frustrate the wills of justice through corruption and intimidation.
The issue of political interference, I don't think that will happen in my tenure, because I am guided by the Constitution and the rule of law when handling any matter for any citizen. It does not matter whether it's a politician, it's a normal mwananchi.
Members furthermore tasked Mulele to explain how he will address frosty relationship between the office of ODPP and other offices like that of the DCI, as was witnessed between his predecessor Nudin Haji and the then DCI boss George Kinoti.
The only way to deal with that relationship is to have a collegiality. We must come together, sit with our stakeholders and clearly train together and understand the mandate of each institution. That way, I don't believe there can be any fight, because every agency will be handling its mandate.
Matters to do with corruption in prosecution of cases also featured heavily in questions, Mulele making a commitment to eliminate the vice in the ODPP office to ensure all Kenyans have access to fair administration of justice.
We will have a way of fighting corruption, and one of them is to enact policies, standard operating procedures in corruption, so that will be a guide when we're dealing with corruption.
As a person who has inside knowledge of the problems bedeviling the ODPP department, having worked as head of public prosecutions in northern Kenya, Mulele says budget constraint is a stumbling block for the ODPP in discharge of its duties.
The biggest problem in the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions is funds. We are not able to meet our needs because of funding. We are not able to employ staff. We are not able to do the other corporate services. We cannot. We can't even buy a camera for the communication department just because of funding. That's why I beseech that I'll be coming back to this committee so that the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions is well funded and achieve its mandate.
Despite the challenge of inadequate funds, Mr. Mulele is upbeat he will give the ODPP office a new face of professionalism and dedication if his nomination is approved by the National Assembly.
As a public servant, we are guided by Article 232 of the Constitution about values and integrity and all that goes with Chapter 6 as public servants. That will be my guiding principle if confirmed by this committee to be the next Director of Public Prosecutions.
His fate now awaits Parliament input when the committee forwards its report for discussion. Henry Tende, Lookuptv.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki surprised staff at the Nyayo House when he paid an impromptu visit to the facility, which has seen delays in processing passports. Kindiki affirmed that the crackdown on cartels extorting passport applicants at the Immigration Department is among his top priorities. Now, 4 people have been arrested in connection to the passport processing scandal at Nyayo House. Confirming the arrest, the Secretary of the Ministry of Immigration and Public Services, Julius Bitok, has assured Kenyans that passport backlog is a thing of the past, adding that new passports will be delivered within 3 to 7 days. He further affirmed the government's commitment to fighting deep-rooted corruption.
To facilitate an orderly, timeless and responsive processing of passports and other citizenship documents, special desks have been established to fast-track all emergency applications, including those of persons seeking medical care, academic opportunities and job openings that have clear deadlines and have presented the necessary supporting documents.
Moments, as you can see, we still have a large number of the people of our country who are looking for passports for various reasons. Some for study, some for travel, others for work, others for medical purposes. Unfortunately, for a long time, more than 2 years now, we have not been able to match the production of passports with the demand.
No applicant should give any money to facilitate faster processing and issuance of passports. The backlog of 44,000 applications will be resolved within 14 days, and all subsequent applications will be processed expeditiously.
So therefore, we stand at 44,000 tonight, and we are producing an average of 5,000 plus passports per day with 2 shifts, day and night.
The Cabinet Secretary for Interior Security, Professor Kithure Kindiki, has said that a majority of the officers in the Immigration Department are professional, dedicated and patriotic. They deserve to be commended and facilitated to undertake their duties diligently. The few officers who are colluding with brokers to demand bribes from applicants of passports and other vital documents will be dealt with firmly.
Serikali imeamua kupiga darubini sana maneno ya mabroka ambayo wanajaribu kusumbua Kenya wasipate passport kwa muda mfupi. Na ninasema kwamba DCI amepewa instructions na serikali kuhakikisha kwamba wamekamata mtu yeyote ambayo anajaribu kuchukua pesa ama kuchukua hongo kwa Wakenya ili wapate mambo ya passport.
The Migration Department will receive up to 1.3 billion Kenyan shilling in appropriation in aid beginning the financial year 2023-2024 to enable the acquisition of new equipment, including printers, and revamp the department's infrastructure to offer better services to citizens across the country.
Therefore, that has been possible because of the repairs that I've talked about of the equipment, although still we are way below our production capacity. What we intend to do is, as soon as the S-Checker is available to the Immigration Department, we'll acquire as many printers as possible. We will improve on our physical facilities. We are going to make sure this place is efficient. We will surprise Kenyans with a very efficient passport processing and very efficient experience.
This comes after the Secretary of the Ministry of Immigration and Public Services, Julius Bitok, has revealed that 4 suspects are now in police custody following a thorough investigation on passport processing. Bitok is assuring Kenyans that the government is doing everything possible to fight the slow pace of passport processing. This ministry has vowed to deal with fraudsters who bribe Kenyans for money to process their passports faster. Speaking in Mombasa County, Bitok says that the piling up is targeted to be resolved within the next 2 weeks, while Kenyans are promised to get their passports within 7 days.
Nataka kuambia wa Kenya, sasa nyao ziko clean, hakuna maneno ya kutumia broker, kuja hapo within a very short time utapata passport yako bila kusumbuliwa. Most recently, we were able to arrest some of the people who are actually frustrating Kenyans who are trying to get passports in their house. So I want to assure the country that services in Nyayo House are going on well.
Ruga Ival, Lookuptv.
Ruga Ival. The Senate today afternoon passed the Climate Change Amendment Bill 2023. Now, the bill, sponsored by Kenyan government, was moved by the Senate Majority Leader Aaron Cheruiyot, seconded by their chairperson of the Senate Standing Committee on Lands, Environment and Natural Resources, Senator John Medhu. Mevin Getembe now reports.
During a special sitting held on Thursday, the Senate passed the Climate Change Amendment Bill 2023. The bill now awaits President William Ruto for their assent.
We seek guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity and welfare of our country.
Senators who contributed during the debate unanimously supported the bill, appealing to all leaders and Kenyans at large to embrace conservation of environment to address effects of climate change. Under the amended law, the Cabinet Secretary will be required to report to Parliament annually, unlike previously, where he was required to do so biannually.
This morning, Mr. Speaker, we are meeting here, gathered as a House, to consider this bill, the Climate Change Amendment Bill 2023, a bill that was published on 23rd, published under the Gazette Supplement number 127 of 2023, considered by the National Assembly and passed on the 23rd of August 2023. Thereafter, this bill was referred to us for consideration. Mr. Speaker, you are aware that this coming few days, the whole conversation across the continent of Africa is about climate and the climate change, and the conversation being altered in favor of no particular player, because, Mr. Speaker, we have been reminded on many conversations across this globe.
Speaker, for this opportunity to second this particular motion, Mr. Speaker, and from the onset, I would want to say that I'm quite surprised that I didn't know that Senator Cheriot, the leader of majority, has that in-depth knowledge on matters environment and climate change. I feel very challenged that he has understood the meat and crust of why we actually need to do this particular amendment. And as I second, Mr. Speaker, I don't want to say, a lot of issues that I actually need to say have been said by my brother, Senator Cheriot. But I want to answer a question that is being asked by most of my colleagues, and it has been a question to all the members of the Lands, Environment and Natural Resources Committee on why we actually need to change this law. Mr. Speaker, all of us keep mentioning, and we base our argument, Article 42 of the Constitution, that every person has a right to a clean and healthy environment, Mr. Speaker.
Among the international agreements that the bill will address is the Paris Agreement that Kenya ratified on 28th of December 2016. The passage of the bill will now make it possible for Kenyans to engage a broader range of stakeholders and support its emissions in reduction goals. Mevin Getembe, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
That story by Mevin Getembe takes us on our first break right here on our Lookup News. Once we come back, more stories ahead, including Pizza Munya Wars. Once we come back.
Infinity Industrial Park is one of the largest private industrial parks located along Eastern Bypass, Nairobi, which provides modern infrastructure for smooth operations for industries and business enterprises. Infinity Industrial Park offers world-class amenities and facilities with wide roads, a police station, a power substation, fire station, public transport stage, hospital, and shopping mall. In addition, Infinity Industrial Park also offers CCTV cameras, 24-hour private armed security patrol, sewer, water, fiber optic cable, and 3-phase power connection, added to public utility, canteen, and dining areas. Sail on the golden opportunity to invest in Infinity Industrial Park fully serviced warehouses at a special price of 3,569 Kenyan shillings per square foot. For more inquiries, visit our website infinityindustrialpark.com.
Realize your home ownership dream by investing in Brookvale Tuala, a magnificent prime residential property located in Ongata, Rongai. Brookvale Tuala by Safaricom Investment Cooperative overlooks the majestic Ngong Hills and lies only 24 kilometers from Nairobi CBD. The project boasts of well-serviced plots with a perimeter wall, graded roads and a borehole. 50 by 100 plots are going for 1.4 million shillings with a flexible payment plan of up to 6 months. To book your plot, call 0729 121212 today. Safaricom Investment Cooperative, the investment partner of choice.
Welcome back to Lookuptv News. Former Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya has been dropped as a witness from the 63 billion shillings Aror and Kimarel Dams case involving former Treasury CS Henry Rotich. This is after the court issued a warrant of arrest against Munya for failing to appear before the court to testify in the multi-billion shillings scandal.
In a bungled witness prosecution relationship in a multi-billion shilling scandal.
I, Peter Munya,
swear by the Almighty God.
Swear by the Almighty God.
The prosecution has dropped former Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya as its witness in the Aror Kimwarer 63 billion shillings graft case, facing former Treasury Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich, even after he presented himself in court as a witness.
I have not received any summons to appear, but I got information that there were summons that were issued at some point, and I was willing to come to court. I have not been asked to come, and I refused to come. Indeed, I was to be here this morning, but I got information that and don't have to, because there are some new developments.
That control of prosecutions, notwithstanding the provisions of any other law, shall be the function of the director. It shall be the function of the director to be, institute, conduct, and control prosecutions for any offense. Therefore, Your Honor, when I am asked by my seniors to adjourn, I am forced to ask for an adjournment, seeking further instructions from them.
Council, I had already addressed denied, and I shall also quote to you Article 161, sub-article 1 of the Constitution, which says that this court shall not be subject to the direction of any other authority. So, please, put your witness in the stand and let's proceed. Your application for adjournment is denied.
This is after the trial court magistrate Eunice Nyutu reviewed a warrant of arrest issued on Thursday against Peter Munya, directing the police to arrest and present him in court to testify.
Your Honor, the next witness we had indicated is a lady from the Office of the Auditor General. I am informed by my IO that she is in Kajiado currently. She is not available.
The prosecution failed to lead Munya to testify over the 63 billion shillings corruption scandal on Thursday. After Munya honored the court directive, the magistrate declined to adjourn the matter after the prosecution counsel informed court that they had no questions against the witness and applied for an adjournment, saying that they were not ready.
Now, I want you to go on record that these dates were taken on 19th of December 2022. We took quite a number of dates. We are now in the month of August 2023. The prosecution has had enough time to bond their witnesses, to have a briefing with their witnesses. And therefore it is very unfortunate when the prosecution shows up in court and claims that they do not have witnesses and claims that they need directions from the office of the DPP on the way to move forward in this case, which they voluntarily presented before this court. This case is not just about the DPP. This case is also about the accused persons whose lives are on hold because the matter is...
Stanley Lugaria, Lookuptv.
A family in Thiba, Kirinyaga County has been left in anguish after a body of a 45-year-old man who went missing last week was found in Kerugoya mortuary. According to hospital reports, the deceased had injuries on his neck and body. Noshine Mangasia with the details.
On Friday last week, a middle-aged man, Patrick Gikobi, went missing from his home in Kerugoya, sending his family in panic as the search began. But today, however, a somber mood filled the region after his body was found in Kerugoya mortuary with a deep cut on his neck. According to his family, Gikobi's body was found in Murinda ward, more than 30 kilometers from Thiba ward where he resides.
Sisi tulikuwa tunatafuta ndugu yetu ambaye mmoja alikuwa amepotea. Alipotea last week. So tulikuwa tumemtafuta siku nyingi kutoka nyumbani kwenda hapo, it is ni kama kilomita 30 kilometers.
Until his disappearance, Gikobi was a well-known mason in the local villages, living in a rented house at Red Soil in Matagwata sublocation.
Tumekuja hapa kuangalia mwili ya Kasim mwenye aliuawa siku ya Alhamisi usiku, akatupwa huko barabarani pande ya Mlinduko, mali inaitwa Togonye. Lakini askari walimsaidia, wakamchukua, wakamleta huko mochari.
His family has read malice in his death and now claim that he was murdered in a well-orchestrated plan.
Kichwa anaonekana kichwa imefura na kuna damu mingi sana pande ya kichwa. Hiyo ni kuonyesha ni kuuawa, aliuawa. Ndiva, lakini ni kama alipelekwa huko na watu after kumuua.
Mwea East Sub-County Police Commander James Mutua has said that police have initiated an investigation to establish the suspicious death.
Tunaomba serikali iingilie tuone haki yetu.
Nushin Mungasia, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Farmers in Logorian area of Narok County are smiling all the way to the bank thanks to the Sahiwal cattle breed project that has increased their meat and milk production. The project, which started 5 years ago, aims at financially transforming the Ma community.
Following the research done by the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, the Sahiwal cattle breed has been cited to have many benefits, among them being a high production of milk between 10 to 15 liters daily, meat and hides. However, the National Research Fund Chairman Ratemo Micheka expressed the concern over inadequate water and coolers for milk preservation has forced the farmers to sell the milk at throwaway prices, which does not match the government's bottom-up development agenda.
We came to hand over to the community a research project by CALRO, more specifically our researcher here, Dr. Mbuku, the Sahiwal breed of cattle, which are high yielding in terms of meat and milk. We are using this as a pilot, and through CALRO, we are going to extend to the northern eastern corridor, where I think we need such breeds which are resilient and high yielding.
Like I said, they don't have a cooler where to sell the milk. I understand they sell milk at about 20 shillings a liter. 20 shillings a liter. And that really is not what we expect of the farmers. Talking about the economy, this is a low-up economy under the present manifesto of the better. When we talk about economy growing from down upward, this is exactly what we mean, to allow the farmers gain, students go to school using the money, livestock that we get here to give more meat, and then the final analysis, export meat to some other places.
The Chief Executive Officer of the National Research Fund, Dixon Andara, disclosed that the project was mainly going to be implemented in the Ma communities in Narok, Kajiado, and the northeastern corridor, where the breed thrives due to its drought-resistant nature.
So far, we have engaged farmers across the Logorian, county, sub-county, what we call the Transmara South now sub-county. 10,000 farmers have benefited from this project so far.
Hadassa Christel, Lookuptv.
1,000 farmers in Isiolo have benefited from a poultry donation courtesy of DRIC project, and 5 pellets each from each food and agriculture organization found. The excited farmers have now kick-started their poultry farms that had been adversely affected by the tough economic times.
Poultry farmers from Isiolo County now have a major reason to smile. This is after they received a donation of incubators and poultry courtesy of the Drought Resilience in Isiolo County project that is being funded by the European Union. According to the project officer in the DRIC project, Amina Halkalo, the move to donate 1,000 roosters and 5,000 pallets to the poultry farmers from the 9 locations in Isiolo County is aimed at improving their breed in order to maximize on their profits.
At this location where we are at, we are installing incubator capacity of 300 eggs so that the beneficiaries will be able to hatch their chicks. They are able to multiply the chicken quickly so that they will be able to uplift their livelihood.
Dixon Chaulo, a livestock production officer at the county department, hailed the project, terming it as transformative for the people of Isiolo, who are normally pastoralists, have now embraced poultry farming.
Because hiyo mifugo zingine ambao tumekuwa tukitegemea kama ng'ombe, wakati jilali ikikuja zinakufa. Kama jilali ya mwaka jana, kaunti yetu ya Isiolo tuliweza sasa kupoteza ng'ombe 50% ya livestock population in the county. Kwa hivyo sisi kama idara ya mifugo tutaendelea kusupport hii mradi tukishirikiana na Drake Partners, na pongezi sana kwa European Union kwa ile support wametupatia hiyo muda yote.
The beneficiaries have hailed the kind gesture of the incubator donation as a move that will hasten the production process, allowing them to maximize on production and profits. This is opposed to when they use traditional ways of hatching eggs.
Incubator, hii dona yetu yenye sahi partnership yenye tunafanya na kazi VSF, through European Union, ndio wakatuletea machine, ndio tumefaidika kwa siku ya leo.
Wairimu Wasike, Lookuptv.
Makueni County is set to be a host to a one-of-a-kind facility dubbed Superstop by Superior Homes Kenya, targeting long-distance truck drivers plying the Nairobi-Mombasa highway. The all-inclusive 350 million shillings facility will have a solution stop at Sultan Hamoud. This and much more on our Business Roundup tonight. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony for the facility, Superior Homes CEO Shiv Arora touted the project as a magic bullet for coming up with a solution to some of the road accidents that long-distance drivers face in the line of duty.
If you look at road accidents, if you look at road safety, if you look at logistics, if you look at places to stop for truck drivers, if you look at places to stop for long-haul motorists on very, very long distances, they really don't exist any that are done in an institutionalized manner. What exists at the moment is haphazard, on the side of the road, and very informal. Superior Homes has taken an institutional approach towards developing truck stops here, and this is our pilot program which we have launched here in Makueni County, which has a facility which has fueling, safe parking, security, accommodation, food courts, prayer rooms, showers, clean accommodation.
Makueni Governor Mutula Kilonzo commended the developer for the innovation, adding that the county would offer its full support to see the completion of the project later this year.
Barabara kuu ya Mombasa Road zinafanyika upande huu wa Makueni, kuanzia Salama kupitia hapa, na njia mwafaka ya kuzuia ajali hizi za barabara ni facility kama hii ambayo ni ya kipekee, na tunataka kuwashukuru. Sisi wakati tumeulizwa kama kaunti ya Makueni tuwapatie ruhusa for the development plan, tuliwapatia haraka iwezekanavyo. Walilipa pesa ambazo tuliwauliza, na sisi tunataka waanze haraka kwa sababu ni njia mwafaka ya kuhakikisha kwamba wale wafanyikazi ambao wanafanya kazi hapa, chakula ambacho kitatumika hapa, wale watu ambao wataleta chakula hapa na wafanye kazi watakuwa wanatoka Makueni.
Investors keen on investing at a Kenyan Industrial Park in Naivasha will directly get electricity from Kenyan at a cost of just $7 per unit in a move that is targeted at wooing investors. This announcement also comes after Energy Cabinet Secretary David Chilcher also assured investors that Kenyan has adequate geothermal energy in Olkaria to support their activities.
We've got energy available at the cost that we are giving to this kind of investment, going to center so that we don't have to transport energy and incur more losses.
In this era of sustainable development, we are providing up to 93% green energy and are on our way to the 100% mark. We are powering some of the most eco-friendly data centers and are establishing a very competitive investment opportunity for data centers in Africa.
Finally, listed agribusiness and superfoods producer Kakuzi PLC has successfully completed the inaugural export delivery of 181 Botswana havers to a Uganda-based rancher for breeding. The breeding havers, valued at more than 13.5 million shillings, left Kakuzi's Makuyu, Murang'a County livestock paddocks later last week and later received at Mpala Farm in Kombebe Division, Central Uganda.
heifers that can carry a heavier breed, because for us we want to breed with Angus. You know, Angus is a heavier breed, actually even almost more than Boran. So we want to have a crossbreed between Boran and Angus. So I was looking at an animal which can be able to carry that weight. Yes. Number 2, it is more resistant to diseases. You know, Borans, they are more resistant to tick-borne diseases and other ailments. Number 3, they are very hardy. So they can survive in drought areas, arid and semi-arid areas.
For Lookup News, Simba, Elijah Charles Kiage. Well, we take another tiny breather right here on our Lookup News. Once we come back, we look at the sports.
Karibu mtazamaji kwenye kipindi cha jamii na itikadi.
Kaini kitako tuna mengi.
Mapenzi yanapoanza watu huitana bebi na majina mengine matamu, lakini baadaye penzi linapogeuka na kuwa shubiri,
mtu anafikia kwenda kumtafuta mke mwingine.
Itakuwaje?
Yule wa kwake nyumbani labda hajamridhisha.
Ni sawa ama vipi Maliki?
Dadangu, wanaume ni kama maembe.
Huyu ni mwanamume atakuja abadiliki.
Mwanaume mwenye wanawake wengi hata katika uchumba, kwenye ndoa ataendelea. Mtu na tabia yake hawachi. Ile umbo la kike likishaanza, kila kitu kishaanza kuwa mahali pake.
Ningependa kukuona.
Sijaenda mahali ambapo mimi nilisikia mtu ati huyu alikuwa shujaa, alikufa katika mstari wa mbele wa ndoa. Sijawahi sikia mimi.
Realize your home ownership dream by investing in Brookvale Tuala, a magnificent prime residential property located in Ongata Rongai. Brookvale Tuala by Safaricom Investment Cooperative overlooks the majestic Ngong Hills and lies only 24 kilometers from Nairobi CBD. The project boasts of well-serviced plots with a perimeter wall, graded roads and a borehole. 50 by 100 plots are going for 1.4 million shillings with a flexible payment plan of up to 6 months. To book your plot, call 0729 121212 today. Safaricom Investment Cooperative, the investment partner of choice.
Let's look at the sports. Now, Kenya Football Federation has partnered with Tanzanians Azam TV on a 7-year deal worth $1 million shillings that will see the television station broadcast Kenya Premier League matches. The partnership comes after sports broadcasting platform SuperSport parted ways with FKF.
Ligi ya Kenya kupitia simu janja ama smartphones kupitia Azam app yetu maarufu ya Azam TV Max app. Kwa hiyo wale ambao wanatumia app iOS kwenye iPhone au Android wanaweza wakafanya vizuri katika kuitazama popote ulipo. Umeenda Kakamega huko Nyeri, huko Mombasa, umeweka maporini huko, bado unaweza kuendelea kuiona vizuri ligi yetu ya Kenya. Kwetu imekuwa ni shauku ya muda mrefu sana kwa kweli, kuona wadau wa michezo na sekta ya michezo inaimarika na kuendelea kutoa ajira moja kwa moja na zile za ziada ambazo zote kwa ujumla wake zina manufaa mapana kwa jamii yetu ya Wakenya. Tunatambua hapo awali walikuwepo wazalishaji wengine wa ligi ya Kenya kabla yetu, na kwa kweli walifanya kazi nzuri.
Personally today, I'm very excited by that opportunity. I'm very excited by what we have done, that we didn't only speak about it, but we actually did it. So every player now get ready. More content on Azam 4. Tutakuwa na dedicated channel kwa Azam. Itakuwa ni Azam 4 HD. Kwa hivyo utaweza kuiona proper. Kutakuwa na shows pale wenzetu na kutakuwa na content nyingi, sio tu kuhusu FKF Premier League, but vitu zingine nyingi tunazofanya katika football ya Kenya miezi ijayo.
Online gaming platform Tuntigi held an esports tournament in Nairobi that saw amateur players show their prowess at a bigger stage. Tuntigi CEO Munyutu Waige stated that the platform aims to create employment for esport games and grow the game within the continent.
That is responsible needs to
of Tuntigi and the founder and the creator is to create a new sector of employment for esport players, number one. Number two, my objective is to make sure that we create a new sector of employment for the youth within the entire continent. I want to create superstars that come from Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Uganda, Ethiopia, South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, so that we can compete amongst each other. There's so much potential that we have as Africans.
Yeah, so basically what we are trying to do, the future of Tuntigi is that we want to connect the gamers, the esport gamers, not only in Kenya, but also in the continent and outside. So right now Tuntigi is in Kenya. We are just launched in South Africa. We are still launching in Tanzania. So our main aim is to connect these players across these different countries to play as a whole. And we are also trying to come up with a structure where we can have the kids play their league of their own, the juniors, and maybe introducing the institutions. Yeah.
More internet infrastructure should be made so that it will be easier to play online tournaments and.
Infinity Industrial Park is one of the largest private industrial parks located along Eastern Bypass, Nairobi, which provides modern infrastructure for smooth operations for industries and business enterprises. Infinity Industrial Park offers world-class amenities and facilities with wide roads, a police station, a power substation, fire station, public transport stage, hospital, and shopping mall. In addition, Infinity Industrial Park also offers CCTV cameras, 24-hour private armed security patrol, sewer, water, fiber optic cable, and 3-phase power connection, added to public utility, canteen, and dining areas. Sail on the golden opportunity to invest in Infinity Industrial Park, fully serviced warehouses at a special price of 3,569 Kenyan shillings per square foot. For more inquiries, visit our website infinityindustrialpark.com.
Overall, first runners up. Number 2. Wakenya mzima. I am a good
Wasichana wetu karibu 3-4 hivi walikuwa wagonjwa, lakini Mungu alitusaidia tukashinda. Challenge nyingine ni mambo ya fedha facilitation. Wakati tunaenda tournament huwa tunapata hard time sana, sababu tunahitaji pesa ya kusafiri, tunahitaji pesa ya lunch na pengine mipira na net, lakini naona hapa tumepewa mpira na net.
Taka siku ya leo nashukuru sana gavana wetu na serikali yetu ya kaunti kwa jumla kwa kutukaribisha na homecoming ya wachezaji wetu kutoka Rwanda ambao ni volleyball girls. Nashukuru mwalimu wao, coach, na wanafunzi wao kucheza vizuri. Kuandaa kwetu kama Uasin Gishu, nashukuru sana coach na shule ya Suin ambao wamekuwa wakifanya mazoezi vizuri. Wamekuwa wakijiandaa kwa tournaments mbalimbali katika kaunti ya Uasin Gishu na hata nje ya Uasin Gishu.
Well, the Kenya Premier League continues tomorrow with a couple of matches taking place. KCB will play AFC Leopards in their first match at Kasarani Annex Stadium after losing to Muranga Seal. Kisii side, Shabana FC will take on Talanta FC at the Nyayo Stadium. Well, that particular story then marks the end of our bulletin right here at Lookuptv. Thank you very much for keeping us company all the way from 9 p.m. up until this particular minute. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiaga, our sign language interpreter, has been Felista Adundo. Much of these stories are covered online at Lookuptv across all your social media platforms. Our website on www.lookuptv.co.ke. Well, so goodbye. Good night.